In this video, I wanted to quickly take the time to share what I believe to be one of the biggest reasons why beginners getting started with digital marketing or affiliate marketing fail, okay? Like, I got reminded of it today just based on the various comments that I've been seeing while going on about my business, doing stuff on threads, right? For those of you who've been around on my channel for a while, well, not for a while, in recent times, you'll know that I've been experimenting and working on threads, which is Instagram's version of Twitter slash X, right? And if you want to get access to the same course that I took to learn the strategies that I'm using to, grow right now on Threads, you can get access to that by clicking the first link in the description below this video. Okay. Now, without beating around the bush, I'll tell you right off the bat, right? The biggest reason that I see a lot of people not succeed is because they quit too early. Okay. Like, I know you've just heard that and you're thinking, okay, whoop-de-doo, you've heard this before, you're just going to jump off the video. But hear me out for a quick second, especially if you're someone who's just getting started, because this is something I promise you, this is something that will take you unawares. It will actually bite you before you even realize it, okay? Too many beginners often quit way too early, and the sad part is a lot of them quit right when they're about to have their big breakthrough. Okay, there's this image that you've probably seen that always comes to mind, right? With the two people digging, right? One on the top, one at the bottom, and they're all digging towards diamonds. And you have the guy that probably just needed to strike one more time, right? One more time or two more times, and he would have hit the diamonds. And then you've got the other guy who's further back, who's still digging, getting started, just going and going and going and going way too many times, right? That guy that just needed to dig one more time or two more times to hit the diamonds and then start walking away, that is most beginners, that is most people online who end up not succeeding, right? Whatever their version or their definition of success is, right? But that is pretty much it, okay? And especially this is especially the case for people who are going the organic route when it comes to like trying to drive traffic. Because when you go about doing digital marketing, right, it's one of two things. You're either gonna pay for traffic, right, or you're going to use organic methods that you're going to pay with your time. Okay, and most people get started using their time because a lot of times people who do get this who do decide to get started with digital marketing, they're doing it because cash, having money, disposable income is an issue, right? That's one of many things that have drive a lot of people to go into this type of stuff, right? So oftentimes there isn't necessarily enough money to go spend on ads and all that type of stuff, right? And even if there is, you really need to know what you're doing, right? I would highly suggest, if you decide to go that route, which I'm not saying you shouldn't, but if you decide to go that route and you have the funds for it, I would highly encourage you to get I would highly encourage you to get some kind of training, right? Rather than going at it blindly with trial and error, trying to figure it out you're on your own, because you're going to end up burning a ton of cash, okay? And even with training, right, that's still not a guarantee that you're going to, turn a positive ROI right from the start. It takes time, it takes practice, but at least you will be guided, okay? Now, the organic route, that's something that's more forgiving, right? Where even if you are going with trial and error, right, the only thing that you're going to be giving up or losing is your time. And for that matter, I would still highly recommend that you pick up a course or pick up some training that can help speed up your progress, right? But if you don't want to do that, that's fine. You can go to the University of free stuff, right? Freebie seeking and all that type stuff, and piece it together, right? People have done it before, right? So it's not impossible. It's just I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. If your time is valuable to you, I would pick up something that has already been done by someone who has actually achieved what it is that you're trying to achieve. Okay. So that's really the thing. And when it comes to organic traffic, right, it can be the most frustrating thing, right? Especially if you're brand new and you don't know, you don't understand, right? And I'm saying that I kind of got reminded of this today because I look at the comments, I see what people are saying online, right? Like especially like on the Threads platforms and all that type of stuff, right? On the on Threads basically, right? And also on more so on Threads as opposed to like say Instagram and some of the other platforms, right? The mindset, like people, it's like people don't, they really don't understand the level of patience, persistence, and consistency that is required to actually break through. Okay. I'm kind of I'm saying I'm kind of experiencing this right now, but not necessarily experiencing it because I know, right? But even though I know and I've had some experience doing this type of stuff, like despite that, it's like it's I can see where people get how people easily get frustrated and easily give up, right? Here I am, I'm still here in front of my computer doing some stuff, like getting up the day, here I am, right? It's just it takes it takes a level of mental fortitude actually, because what happens is you will spend so much time, you'll put in so much time putting in stuff, like putting in work every like 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and it seems like nothing's happening, right? You're not getting any traction, you're not seeing any leads come through, you're not seeing any clicks. It takes time, right? It takes time. Eventually, you're gonna get to that point where you start getting some hits, right? Eventually, then you get enough hits. Eventually, you're gonna get that first sale. You get that first sale. Eventually, you're gonna start getting more sales, right? And then the gap between sales starts getting less wide, right? And then eventually, you get to that point where the sales start coming in consistently on every other day, and then every day. That's just the nature of it. But it takes time to get there, right? How much time are you asking? Well, I mean, I'm talking about what I usually or what I always tell people is if you decide to do this, just make sure that you're willing to go at it for a minimum of 6 months, right? Minimum of 6 months every single day, putting in some kind of work, some kind of effort towards it, right? Meaningful effort, meaningful work, right? Stuff that's actually, I'm not talking busy work. I'm talking about stuff that actually moves the needle, okay? Right? Stuff that's actually going to bring you eyeballs, right? Content, right? Content, okay? With the right strategy, of course. Obviously, that's going to come had that you're going to learn all that type of stuff, if you pick up courses that actually, by courses by people that are actually doing this stuff, okay? So that's the thing, right? It can become so frustrating, and it's just think of like the roots of a tree, right? Just because you don't, the roots of a tree are, just because you don't see them, right? Just because you don't hear them, they're growing in the background beneath the surface, right? They're doing their thing, right? And just because you don't see it doesn't mean that nothing's happening. Stuff is brewing underground, right? And as long as you keep watering that plant, whatever it is, a tree, a plant, whatever it is, right? As long as you keep watering it, eventually at some point it's gonna sprout. It's just gonna blow. Like this what is that? It's like is it the Japanese bamboo or Chinese bamboo or something like that? Apparently there's some saying about that you can water like for how God knows how long, right? And nothing's actually happening, and then when it does happen, it's just blow exponential, okay? And that is the nature of digital marketing when you're going the organic route, okay? You have to give it time, you have to be patient, you have to trust the process and believe that it's actually going to work, right? Again, of course, it's more than just believing, right? Believing combined with having the right strategy, and that's the recipe for success, okay? So remember that, okay? Don't, like, I see people come in and within, they're all bothered and butthurt by the fact that they've been at it for 10 days working, doing, and they've not gotten any sales. It takes time, right? It takes more time. And again, that's why most people don't succeed with this stuff. They don't succeed not because it's rocket science, but because they're just not willing to put in the work. Okay. Hopefully the message got through. But right now, one of the best places to get started as a beginner is on Threads. Okay, it's really simple stuff, right? Because you don't need to be on camera. For those of you who don't like to be on camera, camera shy, and all that type of stuff, it's just text. You don't have to create any videos. You don't have to it's just text and just little short blurbs here of text. And of course you have to know what you're doing, right? And like I said, if you want to learn how to do this, start making money on Threads, as many people already are, go ahead and check out that first link in the description below this video. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, let me know and I will be sure to respond. Thank you ever so much for taking the time to watch this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Ciao.